Hold on. We are now on. I'd like to welcome everybody in the Zen Zone Mindset group to one of the featured speakers. One of the things within the Zen Zone Mindset group that I want to achieve is for everybody to have an opportunity to network with like-minded individuals, and you're always free to connect with anybody in the group, of course. And we want to provide as much valuable content and also once in a while feature one of the members based on the kind of work they do so that we can all learn and get enriched. And today, I am extremely happy to have with me someone very special that I met months ago, actually, just by connecting and networking on Facebook. Her name is Esmee St James. Now, before I introduce her informally, I'm just going to say a word about her. Esmee guides her clients, and the reason this is so exciting because we're talking about how self-doubt undermines entrepreneurial success. And so a little bit about Esmee. She basically guides her clients to break up their fears and become masters of their destiny. Who doesn't want that? As certified hypnotherapist, Esmee is a published author and renowned relationship expert. Wow. She's passionate about empowering entrepreneurs to develop and trust their unique skills so that they can create the life they desire. Esmee, welcome. I can't hear you all.
Thank you for reminding me. I had myself muted. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Allan. It is such a pleasure to be here, and it's such a pleasure to be connected with you. I know we connected in the beginning of COVID, and things have developed beautifully since then.
I know, and I really encourage people. It's amazing because I think I told you when I met you months ago that about a year ago, I decided that I had 5,000 Facebook friends that weren't really friends. So I started to reach out in a more personal way, sending a request and then an audio clip. And then before you know it, we'd be on a Zoom call talking about what each other does. And such amazing things have happened, including meeting people like you. So I'm very excited to talk to you about. Today, we're as you know, we're talking about how self-doubt, and self-doubt, it's kind of huge because of the work that you do, which we do similar, but not the same work. I have found, somebody last year asked me, Allan, what's the number one thing holding most people back? Of course, there are many things holding us back, but the number one thing I said was self-doubt, self-criticism, people too hard on themselves is the number one thing. And that's why over the years, I created a program that's all about accepting, loving, and respecting yourself and learning how to communicate with others from the inside out. So I know we're on the same page in terms of that issue. So why don't we start, I know we're going to get practical and you're actually going to provide us with a kind of cool exercise, which I can't wait for us to do. But before we do that, and take a minute or two just to tell the audience a bit about yourself and how you got into the work that you do and how it connects to self-doubt.
Absolutely. I'd be honored to, Allan, and thank you for asking that wonderful question. I got into this work at one point in my life. I hit a really low point with a relationship. I had just lost both my parents, and I felt myself slipping into a deep hole. At the same time, I was working on launching a new business. I was a dating coach for men. And I found that as I worked on myself in different ways, I found out that I needed to find different ways to help my clients. I tried psychotherapy, I tried acupuncture, I tried everything to help myself feel better and get through the huge lump of self-doubt that was stopping me from moving ahead with my business. I finally discovered hypnotherapy. I hired a hypnotherapist to help me move through what was going on with me, and it was a great, great solution for me. It really helped me get my mind together and be able to focus and listen to that inner voice that is my true guidance, that inner voice that is always right. And it's the one that we sometimes don't listen to because it can be very, very quiet. I realized that this process that I was undergoing to help myself heal from my emotional pain that I was having and my huge block of self-doubt was also the best way that I could help my clients. So I had been coaching with talk therapy, with exercises, with repetition, et cetera, my male clients to be the man that they wanted to be so that it could attract the women they wanted to be, I started to use hypnotherapy, and I'm actually trained for a couple of years in hypnotherapy, and I'm now certified. And I found that this method really, really helped enhance what I was doing, to the point where I began coaching not just men, but also men and women too, on various things. And being an entrepreneur myself, I began attracting a lot of entrepreneurs through networking groups and masterminds that I was attending. So now I have the pleasure of helping entrepreneurs like myself and like you and like your listeners to break through those barriers that are holding them back from the success that they want.
Wow. Now, I have a question about hypnotherapy, and I'm glad we're talking about this. And this is not a judgmental thing. It's just a question that some people would ask. Obviously, there are a lot of methods and tools that people use or have access to using to help them heal, help them grow. Now, when it comes to something like hypnotherapy, some of us have had this thought, it seems so intangible. How does it work? How could, if somebody puts a spell on us from the outside, how is that going to literally transform ourselves from the inside out? Are we putting too much faith in the person outside us to hypnotize us? Unless you're talking about she or he is teaching us how to hypnotize ourselves. So can you clarify why hypnotherapy, maybe how it's unique from other therapies and why it can be so powerful?
Absolutely, be happy to answer that question. And it is a very common question. The way hypnotherapy works and why it is so powerful is that it goes into our unconscious mind. You see, only 5% of our, let's say it's the top of a pyramid, that top 5% is our conscious critical mind. It's the one that's always telling us, you're doing this wrong. Oh my God, no one's listening to you. You should listen to everybody else. The one that we criticize ourselves with, it's the very, very analytical mind where we try and figure everything out. But when we focus on that 5%, we don't realize that our unconscious mind, the other 95% of our mind, is really running the show. Up until we're about the age of 7, we are in a highly suggestible state. Even around, I think, the 3rd trimester of being in the womb, we're already being influenced by what we hear around us, what we feel around us, what energy we're absorbing from around us. We're getting our cues from our environment. It's like we're born into the world, much like when you buy a new laptop and it has no operating system. It's very close to that. And up until we're about the age of 7, in that highly suggestible state, we're absorbing everything that we can from our environment. Cues. This happens, then you react like this to survive, to save yourself, to get what you want. And sometimes those cues aren't necessarily all that helpful. We start to get beliefs that are limiting us, that are stopping us from being who we truly are meant to be. And that starts to feed into our unconscious mind and starts to affect how we think for the rest of our lives. What hypnotherapy does is it goes into the unconscious mind and helps you reprogram those neurotransmitters, those synapses that are happening in your brain that are giving you knee-jerk reactions, that give you knee-jerk reactions to triggers that you receive. So we're basically kind of helping reprogram your operating system for your own good. And it's not that you're being told to think and say and do things that don't resonate with you, because we always talk up front, and everything that we do in hypnosis is pretty much guided by you, the client, because I get cues from you. So you're never going to be made to think, do, or feel anything that is against your beliefs. Really, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis.
Or are you
Because
teaching? Sorry.
Go ahead. Go
Are
ahead.
you teaching people how to ultimately do that exercise themselves, or they become dependent on you to do the hypnosis?
Absolutely not dependent on me. And yes, to the first question, I do teach people how to do self-hypnosis. It is very effective when you have someone guide you, and it takes about 4 sessions, sometimes 3, to guide a person through one issue. So once that happens, then you can move forward to the next one. You just open up your consciousness and your unconscious to notice and act differently, respond differently to things. So yes, I do teach you, and no, you're not going to be dependent on me forever. I wouldn't want that.
That's, well, no, we all want that. I'm just kidding. So can we make a distinction when you talked about the external stimulation that we get, especially when we're young and we take it on? I understand that. Now, there's some people that have very hyperactive minds, are living in their head a lot. So that makes sense. But what about people that are fairly experienced with different levels of meditation and getting into the alpha state? If they're already experienced in going deeper, obviously many of them would also take on different affirmations at a depth level. Would they still need something like hypnotherapy if they're already in the alpha state much of the time?
That's an excellent question. The alpha state, what I bring them into more is the theta brainwave state, which is a little bit slower brainwave state than alpha. We go back and forth a little bit, but we go a bit deeper than what one might think. Now, I know that you're a former Buddhist monk and you understand all about the meditative state. Most of us, when we think of meditating, it's like, oh God, I have to try and relax. Oh, what if I can't stop the thoughts in my head? Hypnotherapy is much more than that, because we add affirmations, we create a path, I guide you, I listen to what you're saying. So it just goes a bit deeper. Now, I know that you for sure, Allan, will be able to achieve that theta state by yourself and create your own affirmations and really be able to take an objective overview of yourself and see what's really going on. But there are many people that don't have that ability because they are so blinded by limiting beliefs.
Right.
Imagine, for instance, if I may just quickly explain this, is when you go to the ophthalmologist and you get your eyes tested, and they put you're kind of locked into that thing, and they start putting different lenses in front of your eye, ask you to read the chart while you hold your hand over one eye. And they keep going blurrier and blurrier and blurrier. Imagine that those lenses are limiting beliefs that have been implanted in your unconscious mind when you were younger. And so the idea of hypnotherapy is just to start taking off those lenses until you can see the chart very clearly, and until you can focus on your intuition more clearly and your inner guidance and your self-confidence.
Wonderful. That's a good analogy, good response. Now, I know you're about to share with us a practical exercise that we're all going to go through. What could we expect to experience through this little exercise?
Of course, what you can expect to experience is to feel extremely relaxed.
Okay.
To feel very calm.
Okay.
And then I will have walk you through a short few suggestions. This is just a very quick snippet of what it feels like. But I want you to get a sense of what it would be like to live your life as if no one were watching, to be who you are as if no one were watching, just like that saying, dance as if no one is watching. That's what I want to get at, and to just get rid of that lens of self-doubt. You will feel very relaxed, and you'll feel, most people go, oh, that was great afterwards.
Wonderful. So are we ready to go?
Absolutely, yes.
So what do we need to tell the audience? Like, do we need to close well, I'll just give it over to you. Let you take over.
Thank you for allowing me to guide this. It'll just be about 10 minutes or so, and just, if you can close the door, if not you personally, but if people who are participating in this can just close the door, relax, turn off their phone or mute it so that nothing is interrupting them, and just get comfortable. You can be in a chair, wherever you want to be, just get really comfortable. And just take a nice, deep, letting go breath. Already beginning to relax your mind and body. And notice, forming above you is the most beautiful bright light. It is the light of your life force, your life energy. And now on your next breath in, allow that beautiful light to begin to flow in through the top of your head. Now that light could be a rainbow of colors, or a favorite color, whatever it is. It feels so warming and comfortable and calming as it flows in through your head and through your body and all the way down out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth, wrapping around that magnetic force that's in the center of the earth, firmly grounding you. That light now flowing back up, all the way up into your body until it begins to completely fill you with life force, the energy that is you. That light relaxing you, that light releasing you, that light amplifying and magnifying your energy so much that it may even become an aura as it expands beyond your skin and forms a gorgeous light all around you, protecting you. That's right. And now allow your entire body to completely relax. And I wonder if you can focus your energy, your attention now to relaxing your left elbow. Good. And I wonder if you can now focus your energy on relaxing your right big toe. And I wonder just how relaxed and how calm you're able to feel now as you relax even deeper with every word that I say. In a moment, I'll begin to count you down a perfect staircase. And when we reach the bottom of that staircase, you'll find yourself in your safe place, a place where you feel safer and more sure of yourself than ever before. Getting ready now to descend your perfect staircase. And with each and every single number that I say, you'll relax twice as deep. 10, taking your first step down now. 9, relaxing twice as deep. 8, already seeing your safe place forming before you at the bottom of that staircase. A place where you'll be able to see so clearly through any self-doubt that might have previously blocked you. 7, your conscious mind now beginning to float and drift comfortably. 6, while your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind begins to open up, and it's already opening up twice as fast to all that is for your highest and greatest good as you continue to relax deeper and deeper. 5, allowing all outside sounds of traffic, voices, any unidentified sounds to simply take you even deeper. 4, the deeper you go, the better you feel. 3, the better you feel, the deeper you go. 2, trusting what comes. And 1, be there now in your safe place. And notice immediately as you take a couple of deep inhalations, just how wonderful the pleasant fragrances are in your safe place. Notice the sounds in your safe place are very soothing, and the temperature is just right. Really use all of your senses to experience your safe place and see before you is a big lens. And as you step up to that lens, you realize that on the other side is your confidence. On the other side is your path that you know you must follow, the path that is in your heart. And at your right is a lever that you can push. Walk up to that lever now and just push it. And notice that that lens can easily be removed. And knowing that that lens is simply an old fear, an old limiting belief that used to stop you. Go ahead now and flip that lever and watch that lens just pull away until it's completely gone. Take a good long look now through where that lens used to be and notice just how much more clear your path is. Just how much better you can see where you're going. And just how much more confident you are already feeling about your path. And just how much more certain you already feel. And repeat now out loud or silently to yourself, my path is clear. I trust in my intuition. That's right. And I now effortlessly tune into my higher self. My path is clear. I trust in my intuition. I effortlessly tune in to my higher self. My path is clear. I trust my intuition. I effortlessly tune into my higher self. That's exactly right. because you know as well as I do that when you tune into and focus on what your higher self wants for you, it's easy to allow all the static and all the blurriness that used to block your vision to simply fall away. You're doing so well. Now allow yourself to step through that spot where the lens used to be and onto your path, whatever that may be. And along the path, notice the wonderful journey that you've embarked on. Notice all the wonderful lessons and messages and events that come your way. Notice that your path may weave in a different way than you originally thought it might, but notice that your path leads to all that is for your highest and greatest good. Notice that at the end of that path is your vision of what you want for yourself, what you want for your life, for your business. Allow yourself to really be in that moment now of having achieved what you already want, whether that is helping thousands or perhaps hundreds of thousands of people. And notice that you've achieved that by simply allowing your inner guidance to become so clear that nothing can distract you. Your vision is so clear. Really feel that moment of accomplishment with all of your senses now. Make it very real. Make it in the present moment while I'm silent. Excellent. And now allow that beautiful life force, energy light to flow through you once more, all the way from the top of your head, all the way through the body, purifying you, clarifying your vision, making your path ever so clear, flowing all the way through you and out the bottoms of your feet, down into the center of the earth and returning back to you, filling you with even more of that beautiful life force that is you, that is your entire self, mind, body, and soul, headed in exactly the right direction, sealing in all the wonderful transformation you've just experienced. Good. And in a moment, I'll begin to count you back up. And when you come back into this place and this time, you'll feel more confident, more clear, more tuned in to your intuition and guidance than ever before. 5, moving your fingers in your hands. 4, moving your toes and your feet. 3, feeling lots of energy returning back into the body. 2, feeling absolutely wonderful, remembering all that you've just learned here today. And 1, put a smile on your lips and open your eyes.
Wow.
Wasn't that wonderful?
Yeah, it's interesting because normally I don't really easily relate to a guided form of meditation. It's just not my thing, right? And I realized listening to you, there's 2 aspects to it. There's the words and the spirit, the energy, the sound behind the words, which is your voice. And I really resonated. I mean, the words were beautiful, but the voice you have is very masterful, and the way you do it is very masterful. And I'll just share with you one experience I had through the last 15 minutes. I don't know if I told you, Esmee, but about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And although I've navigated and managed it pretty well, some people wouldn't even know I have it. But one of the things is mostly started in the right hand, the right arm. But in the last number of months, kind of my right foot, kind of it gets numb and it moves and it's kind of a little unnerving. My neurologist thinks that Botox might help it. But it's funny because as you were taking me through the visualization, increasingly it kind of almost stopped completely. I mean, I know it's not going to stop ongoingly, but it's interesting the power of the exercise could influence my leg. So that was very powerful. That was good.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Now I know
That,
I know I'm cognizant of the limitation of the time on the Zoom call, but rather than go and talk much, because let's just digest the beauty of what you have to offer us, why not just tell the audience if they would like to get in touch with you, how they would do that? And kind of we'll end the call on a staying in the zone kind of thing.
I love that, staying in the zone, because you're the zone Zen master. And we both kind of have similar work, but just do it differently. And I love connecting with you. And thank you for asking that question. I can be reached. Let's see, you can email me at esmee@esmeestjames.com. And you can also message me on Facebook. You can find me at Esmee St James on Facebook. You can private message me. You can also set up an appointment with me through my website at esmeestjames.com. That's ESMEE, St James, ST James.com. And you can connect with me for a free 20-minute hypnosis coffee talk where I will find out with you if hypnosis is right for you.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank you so much. It was a real blessing to have you on today, and we'll have to do it again sometime soon for sure. Thank you, Esmee. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
It's been such a pleasure, Allan. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I know we'll connect again very soon. And I'm so happy to be here to help you improve your business, and you're helping me improve mine. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Be well.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too.